Today I want to talk about time management. I talk a lot about mindfulness in my coaching and in my own practices, and time management seems like a different thing, but in fact, to me, it's very much tied in. I do these videos and write articles, etc., based on what I'm learning and what my clients are learning. And time management is one of the big things that comes up. We're all trying to get the to-do list in our head done. We're all running around to various extents, some more than others, kind of chasing that to-do list, and it's ruminating in our mind, and it's keeping, our minds are trying to keep that to-do list front and center, helping us not forget anything. But paradoxically, it's actually limiting our performance, keeping us under a stress or anxious environment with all those thoughts running through, constantly coming up. So when we want to create more peace and the wisdom and the clarity and the insight that comes from that inner peace, we want to calm the mind as much as we can. So time management practices can do that, because you're basically taking these tasks and to-dos and desires that you've got bouncing around and putting them into a process or a program where your mind can settle and your mind can come to relax into the confidence that you will get these things done. You will remember or be reminded of what's important at the right point in time, such that you don't have to ruminate on it. And so in that way, it's a very big part of mindfulness practices. And so there are many, many ways you can do this. There are many steps, but and I encourage you to explore and learn what works for you, all with the concept of moving these to-do lists down into a process, a piece of paper, an app, or a process that you'll come across the right to-do, trigger, meeting, email at the right time without having to hold it in your mind. A couple of things like email, especially, uh, dedicate certain amounts of time during the day to read email, and then don't read email during the other times. We've heard this before, I'm sure, but it's so powerful. If you can remove email from your phone, that can even help you even more so in addressing email during periodic times. You're probably not going to get an email that must be addressed within a couple hours, such that you can't go a couple hours without reading email. Another thing is to, when you're doing email, scan for what's absolutely important. Hopefully, you've already established your plan for the day. And that's another thing. Establish your plan for the day in the beginning or the night before. And you don't need to deviate from that unless something more important arises. And so you just want to be on the lookout for something more important and quickly discard or set aside what isn't more important and stay on your course in a way that you can come back to what's not as important. Too often we get into this habit of just trying to cover off little things. Oh, that's not that big of a deal, but I'll just do that right now. I'll do that quickly. I'll read that email. I'll quickly respond. Maybe we want to show responsiveness. We want to show that we're paying attention. But also, maybe we want to get it off our plate so we don't have to carry it in the mind and add another ruminating thought. So it makes sense that we want to quickly do it. But of course, that throws us off our track and really diminishes our productivity. We get less done trying to get it done quickly. Instead, try to understand the effect of staying on course, staying on your plan, staying focused and present, and seeing the various inputs that come up and quickly discerning whether they need to be addressed today or right now, or they could be put aside for another point in time where you can address them. And there's lots of different ways to do that. But I'd encourage you to hold time management as a very important skill that we can all learn to do better all the time. And better just means what's better for us, so that we can relieve the mind and try to have just a few less thoughts during the day, which allow that inner peace and clarity and presence to come through. And when you're present and you're at peace and calm, you can imagine how much that would positively affect your relationships and your work and your own physical and mental well being.